This is Control. This is Control, and this is I'm gonna do a quick one with this Control because I don't have time enough to invest in this today. I have about an hour at most. Then I have to do something else. Tomorrow I'll be back on Warframe, but I just wanted to do a quick hour of this to continue this process. So Control is going to be played for the remainder of September, and at the end of September, um, there's going to be Warframe giveaways, but there's not going to be any anime for September because of school and everything, um, and my own work. So Control is going to be something that's going to be off and on, but by the time September's over, I'm going to be finished with Control. And the previous Control game that I played, this one is going to be replaced that one. So every time I do one of these Control games, I'm going to delete the old ones. This is the Ultimate Edition, so the Ultimate Edition is going to be replaced by replace the old one because that one was just PlayStation Plus. The difference between the Ultimate Edition is it's just $4 or $5 more. And what I meant by that is that if you have the PlayStation subscription, you download the Control game, and if you have it within um, your library and you've played the game before, you don't get to play. You don't have to pay the whole game in order to get the Ultimate Edition and pay for the Ultimate Edition. I just had to, with my PlayStation subscription, paid like $5 extra, which means I basically bought an entire Control game for like $5 simply because of PlayStation subscription. Because it's $10 for a PlayStation subscription and about $4 and change for the Ultimate Edition. So it's more like $15 for the entire game, which in my opinion that's a sweet deal. Rather than pay for the entire game by itself, which would have cost far more. So that's the reason why I'm playing Control. Savings. I save less than $200 this year with regards to like 4 to 5 games, and I think that's about it. Final Fantasy VI was the very last game that I purchased, and I'm not going to play that anytime in October. That's going to be something that I'm going to play on Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving leading up to Christmas. So yeah, so I'm going to continue this and then I'll upload this by PlayStation. But yeah, there's going to be no anime post for September. Um, but there is going to be an anime post for October, Spooktober, with regards to horror anime and stuff. And then there probably won't be any for November, but there's definitely going to be like a December anime um, list with regards to Christmassy type anime or festival type anime, something that's very lighthearted is going to be released in December. So skipping September, going for October, then skipping November, but I'm going to do December as well. So 2 animes are going to pop up, one for October and then one for December. So that's all I got to say about that. And the giveaway for this month will be, of course, the September 31st, and the same thing for every other month, regards to Warframe. But that's that has nothing to do with this. I'm just going to continue this and move on from where I last left off. So I might have looked like I've passed certain bosses. I've passed maybe 2 bosses. So I'm now on my a little bit further than 3 hours into the game. But this is a very long game, so it won't even matter anyway. The only reason I'm playing this again is because, well, the PlayStation decided to screw me over and does not consider the old PlayStation 4 control the same as the PlayStation 5 control, which is the Ultimate Edition, which comes with more features, or at least more modification, a modified version with regards to the PlayStation 5, which the PlayStation 4 saves cannot register. So I have to start all over again. That's just the way it is. 4 version is not the same as 5 version. And at least the PlayStation Plus doesn't consider a full price game of an Ultimate or a Gold or Platinum Edition to be something that they could use your old saves on. So you have to start all over again. So I'll just continue where I last left off. I keep saying it before and I'll say it again. Either I deleted it accidentally, and I don't know how I could have deleted accidentally, or it just doesn't work. I highly doubt that I deleted control. Highly doubt that I deleted control from the cloud. So it had to have been that this Ultimate Edition cannot be processed with regards to the old saves. It's its own thing. Okay, so I came to this place to look for my brother Dylan. So I think I managed to find him after about 3 hours in and trying to rush towards the end. I think I might have found him. So
Marshall orders us to just sit on our asses and then leaves? What's the deal?
She must have her reasons. She's probably out doing some recon.
Then she should have taken us with her. I need some action, goddammit.
You are a worm through time. The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the way. You've always been a new you. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time, the thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye.
the only thing I really see that's changed with regards to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version, that they really cleaned up the details with regards to graphics. And maybe they added other features as well. Features which probably could not be modified with regards to old version and the new version. So yeah, that's all I gotta say with regards to that. I really didn't want to play this game, but I knew at the moment I saw my save was gone, I had to do it. And it's a good thing too, because it's a good thing too because I would say it's a good thing too because the game is semi horror with 25% in the word semi, as in majority of the game is not scary at all, but there are moments in the game that have good horror elements, like very dark areas, or jump scares, or creepy looking monsters, or bizarre pop-ups of entities, or you popping up in places that are bizarre, or weird videos of threshold kids talking weird stuff and real creepy stuff. So the game has a level of dark atmosphere and creep factor adequate enough to transition to Spooktober. So it's not horror in the definition of the word horror, but it has a decent amount of horror elements to be classified as a horror slash sci-fi slash drama slash um, exploration. You know, it's basically Mulder and Scully. I said in the last video, this is Mulder and Scully with superpowers. Because if you watch X-File, X-File was creepy. It wasn't scary, but it was creepy. There are certain things that in X-Files that were scary, but not everything. Because X-File was mostly about investigation and I guess forensic work. And what else? And semi-horror elements, but those things are also 25%. So this is what this feels like. This game feels like if the X-Files was turned into a game. It feels like that, with the exception of adding telekinetic powers, which would make sense if we're talking about paranatural entities in the world. So yeah, that's all I have to say with regards to that. I'll just continue the story and speak to Dylan.
The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the fourth. No, Thor, you fall. How do you say insane hurts to be happy? You are a worm through time.
Shit.
The thunder's home distorts you.
That's
Happiness
Dylan.
comes, white pearls,
Can
but
you hear
yellow
me?
red in the eye. Through
Come
a
on, Dylan. I'm here.
by the door.
I found you.
The surface into the wet. You've always been a new you. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am? You know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign. Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better.
Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be
that?
true.
Please. Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only truth. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small, in Ordinary, in the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years.
After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the Hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for this lie projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time. The thunder.
I don't know what else I'm hoping to find here.
Dylan. Can we talk?
I'd like to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Off to a good start.
Okay. I'm listening.
I was back in Ordinary, before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just me. I was the only child. A girl. My name was Jesse Dylan Faden. But then the Bureau came and caught me, brought me back here, locked me up. Have you ever noticed that our names, Jesse, Dylan, they could be girls' names, boys' names, could be anything. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Sure.
What the hell was that? Is he trying to mess with me?
You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you.
Maybe Dylan's still in there. Maybe there's a way to reach him.
I'd like to talk to my brother, please. Dylan?
Dylan would like to tell you about a dream he had just now.
This again?
I was going to be the new director of this place. I helped you get a job here, so that we could be together. You were an office assistant. You'd make coffee and deliver the mail, and there was always plenty of work to do. And it stayed that way, forever and ever. It was nice. Really nice.
That's debatable.
But here's the strange thing. The dream shifted, and none of it was real anymore. It was a game. We were in a game, and it was a fucking boring game. But you couldn't stop playing. And then it shifted again. Or maybe it was another dream already. Or maybe I'm just confusing them. But in this other dream, it was more like a musical. This is an ordinary song about an ordinary girl from an ordinary town. It's the ordinary story. She worked an ordinary job in an ordinary office. And something. And that's all I can remember of that dream.
Maybe that's for the best.
You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts.
Maybe I can learn more about the Hiss from him.
Can we talk?
I just had an interesting dream.
Shit.
That's fascinating, but let's talk about the Hiss for a change, yeah?
This dream was about the Hiss.
Best I'm gonna get.
In my dream, the Hiss had broken free of this prison, this house. I'd set it free. And the president himself was there to welcome us. He was the first one to take the Hiss in. Spread the word. At first, many people thought it was horrifying. That he was horrifying. But also, Many people who heard his words wanted to welcome the hiss in. And slowly, more and more of them came around until the whole world was brought together by the hiss. It was wonderful.
Okay, thanks for sharing that.
For the record, that will never happen. Not as long as I'm alive.
The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness.
Maybe I'm just here to punish myself.
Any new dreams you'd like to share, Dylan?
I'm glad you asked, sister. This dream, like all dreams now, felt very real. Like reality. And reality now feels like a dream. Maybe it's all a dream. Maybe it's all real.
Dream where my brother endlessly tells me about his dreams.
I was in a dark place, and there was a dark man there. His name was Mr. Door, and he told me that there are many worlds, side by side, on top of each other, some inside of others. In one world, there was a writer who wrote a story about a cop. In another world, the cop was real. Door said he himself was in all of them at the same time, endlessly shifting between them. I asked him how I could reach these worlds. I wanted to bring the hiss there. But he didn't want to help me. He didn't like the idea. What did he know?
I'm not wild about the idea myself.
Through time, the thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red.
Here we go again. Once more with feeling.
Let me guess. You want to tell me about your dream?
Yes. Yes. In fact, I'm having a dream right now.
Oh. That's new.
In this dream, I'm standing in the corner watching Jesse and Dylan talk about this very dream. This very dream! He said just now! And repeated it again now! I'm standing there and watching, and that's all I can do. It's as if I'm trapped there. And that's all I have to say about that dream.
Okay, Dylan. That's good.
Is he still in there? Or is this the hiss playing mind games?
Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red.
I don't know.
Through a mirror, the inverted is made right. Leave your inside by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been near you. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. This happens more and more now. You gave us the permission to write.
So
We wait in the stands.
that was basically that. I only did that to see every single aspect of that story. And I only did that to see every aspect of that story because it's important to see every aspect of that story. And I say that story as in if it was one story. It's because all of them, though they're all different stories, are constructed into one story in his head. Each piece are part of a generalized story, like a full story that he's told, just one story, but different variations of said one story. As in Jesse Faden was hired due to him, as in Jesse Faden didn't exist, as in it's escaped the world, as in there are other places outside of this world. You know, all these things are variations of stories based on the hiss themselves, which means one or two things. The hiss has the ability to foresee the future, or the probability crux, a guesstimation of the future, which is something that can or cannot come true. But there's no third path. It's either going to come true or it will not. So that's the whole reason of that whole me keep going back there over and over and over again, was to see each story that he stated with regards to the game, because this is everything he's saying is the future of the next Control game and the future of other games within the Control universe. Kind of like Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2, basically certain things that he stated are now present in Alan Wake 2, and other things that he stated becomes present in this game towards the ending, and other things he stated have not come to pass yet, and yet again other thing he stated has still not come to pass yet, and then yet other thing he stated are going to show up in the Control 2 game. So he spoke several things. Basically, I spoke to him like 5, maybe 6 times, I'm not sure, maybe 5 times. And each of those 5 times are either 2 things that are actually going to be present in this game, and the other 3 are things that are going to show up in other games. But they're all part of one single story, because they're all within the same universe. What happens based on what he's saying is going to ultimately affect the future of every other story that's within this universe, not every other story that Remedy games make. Like say they decide to make a new IP, but the new IP is not within this universe of Control, or the universe of Alan Wake, which is in the same universe as Control. And that new IP has nothing to do with the universe of Control or Alan Wake. Then that universe will not be affected. But everything he say will be affected with regards to Alan Wake, with regards to Control, and with regards to another IP that is within and only within this universe, or the Alan Wake universe, because they're all within the same world. They're all within the same universe. Alan Wake just happened to be a person that slips with that some type of weird phenomenon is happening to him at some other part of the world. And then this event is happening here with Control and Jesse in this part of the world. And then in another part of the world, let's say they make another IP, it's happening there in another part of the world. But they're all within the same world. They're just not in the same continent, or they're not on the same, or should I say they're not on the same continent, or they're not within the same state. They're in different states or different provinces, or they're on different continents, but the world is still the same. They're still on planet Earth of that singular universe. So everything he's saying is with regards to every game related to the universe of Alan Wake, Control, and other games within that world universe, that single world universe.
Cliche is death out of time. Breaking the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth.
So he's basically saying stuff that's going to happen in the future. Like if Remedy does create another game, what he basically says is going to pop up in that game. Or if Remedy decide to create Alan Wake 3, what he's saying is going to show up in Alan Wake 3. And what he's saying in there is also going to be show up in Control 2. So nothing Remedy does is simply ramblings. Everything Remedy has ever done in their games usually is tethered to another game, if said other game is within that same universe. There is one other thing I forgot to mention though. I said when these control points are accessed, people become healed from the infestation. Well, it only happens if to certain people. Other people, it does not happen to. In other words, the introduction of something called HR rays. People who are wearing these things on their chest, like he's wearing one on his chest, he's wearing one on his chest. Those who were semi-infected by the hiss, but they had the HR rays on, they are not going to be turned into floating people once you clear an area, or even if you don't clear an area. But those who are, if you clear an area and it's now a safe spot, it's a safe spot for others to go to where the hiss cannot corrupt. But those who have been already previously infected will stay infected. So that's the one thing I forgot from the intro of the previous video that I got wrong, or I completely forgot because it's been more than 2 years since I've played Control. So yeah, I didn't really get it wrong. It's just been more than 2 years I've played Control, so I didn't remember exactly how. Well, I did get it wrong, but I got it backwards actually, not completely wrong. There is something that I have noticed though, why I believe the reason also why I have to start the game over from the beginning. Before, this didn't exist, this dent in the carpet, due to an impact of a fight that happened before. And these debris that are present,
Good luck out there.
like certain things that I've noticed are present in the game. So enough of me talking, I'll just continue the game. I'll continue the game and I'll only play mission objectives. Nothing that has to do with side quests or anything like that. You know, there is like one thing I will say though, like that's non-game related. You really gotta control your breathing. In other words, you really have to exercise, and remember to do your exercise at all times. Even if it's a small amount per day, you really have to do so, because the moment you don't exercise, you don't increase the flow of blood through your body or give yourself enough water, it's hard for you to breathe, because you're in a sitting state, which blood flows from your head to your toes, and if your body is curved in a sitting state, the blood is traveling through your heart, which then goes to your head, which then goes to your stomach, which then goes to your feet, and it's now traveling in a curved arc way. As in, your hands are not pointing completely downwards, and your feet are not pointing completely downwards. They're all curved and arc, which means they now have to curved in order to go straight up and down. That's the reason why when you're standing, you feel like you could breathe easier rather than when you're sitting, because it's just going in a single direction like a pipe. But if a pipe is curved in the form of when you're sitting and like the way you're sitting, then it's a bit longer for said water to travel through that pipe. So exercise is necessary to keep the blood flowing, and water is necessary to flush out or to dilute anything that starts to become congested in your body. Not things that would increase the congestion, like anything that has high concentration of fructose corn syrup, you know, like sodas, Like drinking sodas has liquid, but you've now ingested lots of liquid and lots of corn syrup in your body at the same time. So you're not really diluting something with the water version of the soda. When you're increasing the amount of work for that water to dilute that thing now, because you've now added more corn syrup to your body. So it's always best when you're eating anything to make sure whatever you're drinking has less amounts of corn syrup in it rather than more, unless you really need the corn syrup in order to do energy work, which means you have to physically do energy work. Sitting down is not energy work. Trying to stay awake is what you need, and that won't help you by just dropping a whole lot of soda down your chest. It'll only help you to give you a boost in energy, which you will then have to every 3 hours or 4 hours drink down another can of soda or something like that. It's best to just eat a big meal and drench your body with water during that big meal. And then after you eat that big meal and drench your body with water, like 2 quarts of water, or just 1 quart of water. Actually, not 2 quarts, 1 quart of water, or not even. A full pint of water, like a full bottle of water. Eat your meal and drink a full bottle of water. Don't drink anything else, just a full bottle of water. And then you could grab a can of soda after that, if you want to indulge. But you must make sure that your blood is soaked with nothing but water to dilute everything else in the body. That is the reason I'm drinking water right now, and that's the reason why you see many people when they're streaming videos and stuff, that someone's telling them, hey, remember to drink and hydrate. They're telling you to drink and hydrate because your ass is sitting down all the time, or you've been sitting down for more than an hour. And once you go more than an hour without water going through your body, your blood starts to become thick and concentrated and stuck together in one place, because you're now in a curved position, especially towards your intestines, where things are folded on top of each other. So the water is necessary for you to thin out congestion of blood, congestion of calories, congestion of carbohydrates, congestion of your body mass, as well as your fat and as well as your muscles, especially for your intestines, layered on top of each other, pushed on top of each other in a sitting position. The moment you stand up, your intestine is now stretched out a little because it's no longer pressed on top of each other. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Did you see that hiss they marched through here? Why the fuck didn't we put a bullet in that thing's head?
I heard it's the director's brother. Would you?
He's the enemy, plain and simple.
A woman's aggressive as balls. She's like, why didn't the fuck we put a bullet through his head? She's as aggressive as hell.
What do you
She-
know about this Arish guy?
She really wants to see action.
Saved them in maintenance. They were attacked by a new kind of hiss, and Arish got them out.
Alright, but still. A security guard leading rangers? I don't know if I like taking orders from a mall cop.
Yeah, she's an asshole.
Just when I thought things were stabilizing, Marshall abandons us.
Is the oldest house really on lockdown?
Best of luck.
Oh yes, and I almost forgot. I created 2 new weapons, actually. I've created the Pierce weapon and the Charge weapon. So after 3 hours in, I created like 2 weapons. So I'm gonna try to stop talking and try to move as fast as I can.
The word that describes this is the bad. The people word. The name of the sound.
And one other thing, I created these things called after I got past like 3, maybe 4 hours now, I think about it, 3 or 4 hours, allowed to access something called the jukebox and construct the jukebox. By doing so, the jukebox makes you, I believe it teleports you to a place where you could do challenges. So yeah. And now that I could levitate, I never have to worry anymore. That's the good part about 4 hours in and knocking to the grindhouse. I don't have to worry about not being able to reach certain areas anymore. I could go straight through or straight over by levitating. The one bad thing about the charge weapon is the charge weapon is like a missile launcher or grenade launcher, like a handheld grenade launcher or missile launcher. So you cannot be close to it when you shoot it.
Find new prime candidates. The Bureau needs a director. Our future. P6 and P7